it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex in the UK. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to show you a card that is my entry to this week's Global Design Project Challenge. The challenge this week is a theme challenge and it's Flower Power. Now Stampin' Ups have so many gorgeous floral sets, but Shaded Summer, which is what I'm using, is a new one to me. It is in the annual catalogue and I ummed and ahed about whether to get it, but during Celebration, which started on Wednesday, you can actually get some coordinating dies that cut out these floral, which you can get with a qualifying order of £90. So I popped this in my basket and I've now got the dies. So I'll flip you over and I will show you how to make this card, although I'm going to change it up slightly. So let me run through again everything that we're going to use. So this card here, I used a new Wink of Stella pen and it kind of exploded a little bit, so it's a little bit overdone, but I think it's really pretty. I've made this a thank you card, but I'm going to, and this is portrait, but I'm going to make a landscape version. So I've got a base of thick basic white, and this is, so it's a whole sheet of A4 cut in half. So this is 10.5 and then it's scored at 14.8 and that's your base. I've got a layer of DSP. This is the in colour 6x6 DSP and this is cut at 10.2 and it's 14.5 centimetres. I've already die cut a stitched rectangle from the Evening Evergreen cardstock and I'm keeping this for a sentiment, or I did in my last one, but I'm not sure what sentiment, I'm not entirely sure the sentiment I'm going to use, but that's a stitched rectangle. And then I've used one of the scalloped contour dies to create this panel here, and that's what I'm going to put my flowers on. But I wanted to have something that broke up that background, so I've got a strip of basic white. That could be any size. I haven't cut it, I haven't trimmed it down yet, because sometimes when you emboss card it can shrink it, so I always cut it a little bit longer and then cut it down as I need it. So that's going to go there, and then I've got half a sheet of basic white to do some stamping on. I'm going to use some of the Evening Evergreen open weave ribbon, make a little bow, and then I've got some basic rhinestones. I told you I'm using Shaded Summer and it's really pretty. It's got these main floral dies and then some really lovely sentiments with a mixture of fonts, and I think that's really pretty. And then these are the Summer Shadow dies, and as you can see there's some leaves and some flowers, and I've just cut these out so that you can sort of see they're layered, so you can layer them up. I've used white and Flirty Flamingo here just so that you can see them, and then here are the larger leaves and I've layered together Pear Pizzazz and Granny Apple Green just so that you can see the definition. And then I've layered up two of these. The only one I haven't die cut is you've got a die cut for this little sprig here and a smaller leaf, solid leaf. So there, those are the dies, and as I said, you can qualify, I've kept those two out because those are the ones that I'm going to use. Pop those to one side. I used the second largest scalloped contour, and then I used the second largest rectangle, stitched rectangle, and then that's the painted texture embossing folder that I used for that strip of basic white. So let me just get on and do the stamping. So these stamps are lovely, and what I have decided to do, I'm using soft succulent ink. little blob of fluff. Pick that off with my take pick tool, the putty end, and then just take that off. There we go. So I'm going to stamp both of these in the soft succulent, and then I'm going to die cut these out. I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to need that in a moment. And then real red, I'm just going to quickly use my chamois to clean those off. And I'm going to stamp them again in the real red. This is one of my original ink pads, and it's still really juicy. Look how deep and vibrant that is. Let's finish that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and die cut these, and I will be back. So that was a bit of a disaster. I've just finished making the card and didn't film it. So here we are, I've done it again. So I've die cut, I've got both of these die cut, and I want the green on here and the red on here. So I'm going to fussy cut these out, but before I do, I'm going to colour them in. So I'm going to use the light real red just to quickly colour in the white bits on those flowers. And there's one more there. So that was annoying. That's the one thing I do admire, these ladies that do professional videos. Mine are still very amateur, even after all this time. Never mind. So you don't need to worry about shading. You could use there we go. But it gives those flowers a lovely two-tone look. And the leaves on these bits I'm going to use, this is the dark mint macaron. There is a soft succulent blend combo pack, but I haven't got that yet, so we have to use what we've got. And actually this works very well, I think, to give it a nice two-tone. Very quickly, there we go. And then just using my snips, I'm going to snip out the flowers, and then we can glue those in place. And luckily these are quite easy to cut out because there's a nice little border in between. Cut those all in one go and stick those on there. Actually, no. Do that one separately. I'm going to take that one off because there's a bit of green, there's a green stalk there that I want to show. So we will just trim that out. But we can keep those two together. Just spin that like that. I missed a leaf. I missed a couple of leaves actually. And then that's rubbish, that's rubbish. Let's see if we can just trim that stalk off. Like that. Perfect. Tidy that up. Now you could very easily use your Stampin' blends to colour directly onto the stamps to get two-tone, but it's a technique that I need to practice, so this is my preferred option. It's a bit like paper piecing. Lovely. See, this makes me think of a Christmas card. Red flowers. I've got to put my thinking cap on for a team swap actually. So this might be it, although I have been cutting up lots of the playful penguin DSP, which I showed you last week. I think those little cute little characters are absolutely fabulous. You can see I'm just gluing. I just find it's easier to add glue to the piece you're going to stick them on. I used to try and put glue on to the tiny little bits, but actually it's easier the other way around. Realised I've swept away my two little flowers. It doesn't take too long, does it? Because it's wet glue, gives you a little bit of time to wiggle that into place. that is great. So let's put this together then. We'll work out, as I said, I want to do it landscape rather than portrait, so it's not trimmed very straight, is it? A bit of glue on. Sort of roughly guess in the middle. I love the texture on this. I'm missing my Subtles embossing folder, or showing it in projects for you. I've obviously kept it, it's one of my favourites. And then we can add that on there. Let's get that straight. Lovely. Now before we stick these down, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on the back, so we will roughly position those. And I want to take this little sprig here that there with that. There we go. I'm still going to pop this one up with dimensionals. I've got some mini dimensionals here. Put one under that flower there. And a couple on the body. Lovely. I've tied myself a little bow off camera, and we're going to put that on with a glue dot. I always think glue dots are so much better. Pop that down there. That's beautiful. And then I've already heat embossed the sentiment. Quickly do a bit of quick fussy cutting. Don't like that bit. that. Just going to make it hello. So I'm going to just snip a tiny little bit off the edge. So there. Fabulous. So there's my card base. Put that on there. Tiny little border all the way around. There we go. And then we'll have some rhinestones. And put a few more on here. On there. Oh, on there. There we go. So, whew. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, then hit that subscribe button. And I don't know, what do you think? Should I add Wink of Stella? And this one is really, really shiny. Anyway, I will be back next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.